Do boards of directors matter for companies? And very specifically, does the size of the board of directors matter for firm performance and value? Now, those are genuinely difficult questions to get at. However, we have discovered a setting in Germany that allows us to come up with some very succinct answers to those, and we've arrived at what are some very important conclusions. Because of a large number of well-publicized and sometimes really quite spectacular governance failures in the last 10 to 20 years, there's now a lot of concern about the effectiveness of corporate boards. In our study, we use minimum board size requirements that apply to German companies. It's 12 directors for companies below 10,000 employees, 16 directors between 10 and 20,000 employees, and 20 directors for the even larger companies. Now, in our analysis, we focus in on that 10,000 employee threshold, and we compare the companies just above the threshold, which are forced to have a large board, to companies just below. Probably most strikingly, we find that profitability, measured as the return on assets, drops on average from about 7% to only about 4 to 5%. Now that is a really sizable drop. And we also find strong evidence that stock market valuations drop right at this 10,000 employee threshold, and that the announcement returns or the stock price reactions to acquisitions announcements are much worse for firms just above the threshold compared to firms just below. We also look at the introduction of these new board size requirements in 1976, and we find perfectly consistent evidence. Companies affected by these new board size requirements see their profitability and market valuations fall. The takeaway from this research is that boards genuinely matter. Boards become ineffective, firm performance suffers. As boards become too large, they become ineffective, and once again, firm performance, firm value suffers. And finally, and probably most importantly, our results are a warning to regulators. Ill-advised, ill-designed board regulations can genuinely harm firms, lower their performance, and lower their value.